friends say I'm acting peculiarly. Come on, baby, we better make a start. You better make it soon before you break my heart. Oh, I wanna be with you everywhere. Oh, I wanna be with you everywhere. Wanna be with you everywhere. Listen, people, to a story that was written long ago about a kingdom on a mountain and the valley folks below. On the mountain was a treasure hidden deep beneath the stone, and the valley people swore they'd have it for their very own. Go ahead and hate your neighbor. Go ahead and cheat a friend. Do it in the name of heaven. You can justify it in the end. There won't be any trumpets blowing come the judgment day. On the bloody morning after, one tin soldier rides away. So the people of the valley sent a message up the hill, asking for the buried treasure, tons of gold for which they'd kill. Came the answer from the kingdom, with our brothers we will share all the riches of the mountain, all the treasure buried there. Go ahead and hate your neighbor. Go ahead and cheat a friend. Do it in the name of heaven. You can justify it in the end. There won't be any trumpets blowing come the judgment day. On the bloody morning after, one tin soldier rides away. Now the valley cried with anger, mount your horses, draw your swords. And they killed the mountain people, so they won their just rewards. Now they stood before the treasure on the mountain, dark and red. Turned the stone and looked beneath it. Peace on earth was all it said. Go ahead and hate your neighbor. Go ahead and cheat a friend. Do it in the name of heaven. You can justify it in the end. There won't be any trumpets blowing come the judgment day. On the bloody morning after, one tin soldier rides away.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.
Okay, boomer, whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer, whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer, whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer, whatever you say,
Oh, we're here. We're here. Is your mic muted, Shanda? Shanda, your mic.
That's okay. You would have just heard me crying. I had to mute. Oh my gosh, that was so moving and heartbreaking. And fuck the police is what I take away from that, Oz.
Yeah, I was compelled to do that, and I'm compelling everybody else to please do your own thing. Share that one that Linda and I made. We need to get out there. Thank you, everybody who has seen it, who's given it kudos. We don't do it for grifting or whatever the hell it is, clout chasing. We do it because we believe in the protests around the country and the world, and we support them 1,000%. We're both wearing our, Dr. David Eli called these what do they call these? He called these a
they're anti-Semitic, don't you know?
Yeah, he called them a swastika, today.
Wearable swastika.
This is unbelievable, but, that guy's mental anyway. So, again,
there's a lot of mental out there. A lot of mental. It's everywhere. Everywhere.
Yeah, it is. It's
boiling
insane.
over right now.
It's insane. And before I start shouting out the chat, I got to tell you that Howard Stern Biden interview yesterday just about gave me an embolism in my head. It was just horrible.
So much is about gave me an embolism this week. Are you kidding?
Yeah,
it's just every day. It just nonstop. It doesn't keep coming.
No, it's unconscionable what's going on. And again, I forgot to put the slide in there. Let me get that in here.
Slide deck.
Yeah. Anyway. Let me say hi to everybody over on the tubes.
People out. Here we go.
Kate, Kamshwari Kate, Rat Angel, Cold Fusion Gaming. Who is that guy? And Crazy Puppet is in the house. Hello, friends. We got Jilly. Hi, Jilly. Good to see you. Desert Mantis, always
Jilly.
A pleasure. Cowboy Kitty's in the house. We got Gamer. Retro Gamer is in the house as well. Always a pleasure. Anthony. What's going on, Anthony? Irish Dim
always
Sum.
done that 4 years.
Yeah, I know. Irish Dim Sum 77.
Like
our sister.
Suzanne, good to see you.
Great to see you, Suzanne. Thank you for jumping in and supporting our show. And that opener, that means so much. Justice for Palestine, all the way. Irish Dim Sum 77 is a huge advocate for that as well. One of our sisters in the battle. Croaky, great to see you. Great to see Steve G. Mastermind Hour is here too. Let me see. Reefer After Dark. I am.
Hey, Reef.
Yes. INN is in the house. Good to see you. Let me see. Who we got? Oh, there. Oh my gosh. I got Becca.
Jack Page is in the house.
Becca C. Jax. What's going on, Jax? Yeah, let me see. I'm jumping all over the place. It's going wild. See, Shanda and I share a brain because Shanda, while I was trying to give Irish Dim Sum 77 a wrench, she snuck in and get it, and I kept hitting it, and she already had a wrench. So yeah, thank you.
I'm quick. I'll throw a wrench. Hey, if you can dodge a ball, you can dodge a wrench. So
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Natalie Williams, Rick Solis, who's over on the Rockfinch, and
well, I want to stop by the trailer park because we got some peeps hanging out in the trailer park. Shane Piper's hanging out over there, and so is Popeye and Grapentine. Good to see you guys hanging out at the trailer park. I dropped the link. You guys can always head over to the B&B chat too and hang out. Ghost Art and Dingo Ate Me Baby is hanging out with the Quiet Rumblers. The Rumblers are always so quiet, they're not big talkers on the Rumble. And then the Rockfin, we got the Rockfin. Crone of Heresy is hanging out over there with Lynn and Arim. And Anna Maris says, get a Kleenex. Yes, that was heart-wrenching. Who else is hanging out over here? Copeland Morris, I see you. And I got Copeland Morris. Aram was first through the door over there. I think it looks like there's some super chats piling up. You want to grab those real fast, Oz?
Sure. Jax Page with the super chat. Hello, Shanda Oz. Hello, Jax. Always a pleasure to see you. Irish Dim Sum 77, love you. Keep hitting it. You keep hitting it. Thank you so much for that super chat. We really appreciate it. We are trying to get Shanda
And to the
some...
puppy too. Oh, I want to kiss the
Oh,
puppy.
yeah.
I want to give it kisses
Now,
and
correct
lots
me
and
if I'm
give her
wrong,
lots of pets.
Suzanne. Is the puppy's name, is it Rosie? It's Rosie, I think.
Oh
is the
yeah,
puppy's
it's
name.
Rosie, right.
Hi,
right.
Rosie.
So
Say
cute.
hi to
Oh my God, I'd let her
Rosie.
sit on the couch too. I'd let her
Yeah.
sit on the couch.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
totally would.
Absolutely.
Oz, I had the craziest shit happen to me this week or yesterday over on Twitter. You know, you and I, we live in absolute obscurity when it comes to Twitterverse or Xverse, whatever the fuck it is, right? We only really get to see each other's posts and maybe a few of y'all's, like Fred Edwards. He'll show up, you know, liking my stuff. But for the most part, I can put a tweet out there, pretty much say whatever the hell I want about that tweet, and maybe I'll get 4 or 5 likes back, you know, but more like it's along the line of 2. Even with the over 1,000 followers, whatever I had. Back in the day, you know, shit, I could get 100 likes on just a normal, you know, oh, look at this sucks.
Hi, how are you?
Well, yesterday, somehow a post of mine snuck through the freaking algorithms, and it's an AOC post of all fucking things. Because I really goddamn give a shit about AOC. I called her out at the very beginning. I knew that she was a fraud from day one, but I was one of those fringe people in the Democratic Party that people are always like, oh, why do you always got to be conspiracy theorists? Why is there always something wrong with somebody? You know, like the same thing I'm getting told about RFK Jr. But anyways, moving on. I don't like that I have got this much attention on my ex. I kind of like living in the ex closet. It's quieter over there. I don't have as many trolls in the ex closet.
I know, and they slip once in a while. One gets through, and we'll have.
They slip, let me through.
Yeah, we've had posts that have gone from 0 to 1,000 in 24 hours, and then we're 5, 4, 2, 1. It's all over the place.
7 people have seen this post.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
and it's always something that's really important too, like something everybody should see or hear or know, or an important interview. Those ones, they get squashed in the doghouse. But something stupid like AOC showing up for a photo op, oh my God, everybody's got to see that.
I know, it's that
well,
crazy.
Elon
algorithm.
hates her too, so I'm assuming it's a friend of my friend, my enemy, that thing, you know.
Oh yeah, I certainly
we
know.
hate her, so we'll let the left bag on her.
Before we get too far along, Justice for Palestine, which is the thumbnail behind me, will be premiering tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Pacific over on Beauty and the Boomer. And if you would be so kind, please share that around. Or, like I said, make your own, you know, do your own testament, bear witness to what's going on. It's necessary, and in any way you can support the students and the faculty members who are out there on the right side, and anybody for that matter doing the right thing by Gaza is certainly appreciated.
Peacefully, I might add, though. Peacefully.
Yeah, absolutely peacefully. We've got fair use. We want to be fair use, and we want to use the hell out of it as much as we can. And remember, this show is satire. Unfortunately, it hasn't been so much satire for the last 6 months, has it, Chanda? I mean, we've been pretty...
No, since October 7th, it's been a rough ride.
Yeah,
it's hard to have satire when you look at dead babies all day long, and then you get told it's a good thing.
Yeah, it is. Eric G. Red is in the house. Robert Templeton as well. They're piling in. Oh, my gosh. Look at all those folks. Look at all those folks. Good to see you. We, if you'd like to buy us a coffee, that would be preferable over any other kind of monetization at this point. This will go directly to us, and Chanda and I both could use a little help there. Like I said, we're trying to get Chanda some wheels somehow, somewhere to get around, but she's been doing the mass transit thing, which is fantastic. But
we're going to talk about it over on my stream on Monday, because it's really opened my eyes to a lot of things that I think that most of us take for granted and don't really see on a daily basis.
Well, you need it for medical reasons, too. Your partner has to go to the doctor, how much, 23 times coming up this year or something like that?
Yeah, he had eye surgery this week, and they stuck needles in both of his eyes. He's going blind because he has diabetes, and the only way they can cure that is by giving you a medicine that the state knows doesn't work, but they have to play the game because the insurance company won't approve the one that will work till he uses the one that won't work for 3 months. So he's literally getting needles stuck in his eye for 3 fucking months that he knows are not going to work.
I'm sorry. Well, we're going to do our best to make life
American
easier
healthcare.
for you. We have a terrific outro tonight. It is going to be Eddie Money, and that will be premiering tomorrow morning at 10:15. Chanda said a threefer is what we were going to have on the Eddie Money because it's pretty short and we needed the filler. We hope you stick around and enjoy that. And that's Chanda and me going to an Eddie Money concert, at least in virtual world. Looking forward to.
I totally wish I could go to an Eddie Money concert.
I do too. I did. I was lucky enough to one time to go to
Is that
one.
Linda in the background? Is that Linda right here?
Yes, it is Linda, as a matter of fact.
I knew it was Linda.
Hi, Linda. Good to see you
Linda's
in there.
at the Eddie Money concert with us.
She is at the Eddie Money concert. And,
dude, you have to stay tuned for the Yum Yum. I mean, Linda burns it down every week, but when you said, I said, how's the Yum Yum? And you said, it's scary good. I was like, okay. And then I went and watched and I was like, holy shit, you're right. It is scary good.
We're not going to.
Amazing.
We are not going to spend too much time on this, but the worst, one of the most, what is this, butt-kissing, janky events of the season for the White House. The Correspondents' Dinner happened, and I got to shout out everybody that's out there protesting those scumbags and butt-kissers. There are horrible, horrible people. And honestly, I can't say enough. We
always get really good footage from the Correspondents' Dinner every freaking year. I mean, I know we've brought it for years and years. So yeah, we'll see what Monday looks like and how much gaffes we get. And the protesters. I do have a lot of footage of the protesters going in. The people walking in. Those are the same people that are selling this war, these bullshit wars to us. If you think about it, it's the Correspondents' Dinner. These are all the fat cats sitting in there, right? And you could tell it as they're walking by those fucking protesters and exactly what they think of those protesters.
Well, yeah, and the protesters are giving them the love bird too, because they are the lowest of the low. I mean, oh my God! No matter what administration's running in this country. You've got that pandering, and it's ridiculous. I hope they have the worst turnout and the worst press that they've ever had in history.
What is a correspondent? Can somebody tell me what that is? Like, they're not journalists.
No,
they're just talking heads.
They're propagandists. They're propagandist puppets for the current administration, no matter what administration it is. It doesn't make any difference. So. But it is jokers to the left and clowns to the right.
And the shadow government. Don't leave out the shadow government because the shadow government absolutely controls the correspondence.
It truly is. It truly, truly is. We have to confess one thing, though. We are going to be all over the place tonight on tonight's deck. I know Chanda tightened it up quite a bit. However,
I tried.
We had so much content coming that Chanda could do 2 shows on Monday and not cover it all. So
I could. There was so much in the last week.
Yeah,
I want to shout out a super chat real fast before we move into this.
Please do.
Jax Page says, this dinner is just the elites rubbing it in our face that they own the
Absolutely.
press. None of these are journalists are going to challenge them. Yeah, none of these journalists are going to challenge them. No.
Well, Code Pink's doing a hell of a job out there with die-ins, and they projected the Palestine flag on the wall of the whole building.
It looks beautiful out there. It is. The amount of protesters, I was just like, fuck yeah.
I've got that
That's
clip.
What we got to do.
I've got that clip uploaded if you want to use it on show Monday, so it's there.
Okay. Yeah, drop it on my deck.
Now, this is the actress Mary Margolis. I think she knocks it out of the park as far as where we're going. So tell me if you hear this, Chanda. I didn't test the audio on it.
I'll let you know. Yeah, I hear it.
I have never been so ashamed
I always liked her.
of Israel as I am at this moment.
Maybe a little
To me,
quiet.
it seems as if Hitler has won. He's changed us, Jews, from being compassionate and caring and do unto others as you would have them do unto you, into this vicious, genocidal, nationalist nation, pursuing and killing women and children. What we are doing, Jewish people, over in Israel, is shocking, embarrassing, and wicked. And in the name of humanity, I call upon all Jews to shout, beg, scream for a ceasefire. It is not anti-Semitic to have a different opinion on the wartime actions now.
I think she did a
Here.
terrific job. That was a great statement. And she does
Yeah, it
not
was.
qualify for our Hollywood Go Fuck Yourself segment at all. She's
Oh,
terrific.
heck no. No, that
Yeah.
does not belong down there.
There are a few of them that do not belong in there, but the great deal of them do. This is where we're going to start getting a little bit out of order, but we're going to bounce back and forth through the topics.
I didn't even see this one, so I don't even know.
Okay, this is our friends over at Redacted. This is Clayton Morris, and I thought,
Okay.
no matter what you think about Clayton and Natalie over there, they speak truth to power, and a lot of our sisters
They
and
sell
brothers,
gold.
yeah,
right?
well, they sell gold, yeah, and but,
But they
I
all
wouldn't.
sell gold. I think Jimmy's selling gold now.
Jimmy's
right?
selling gold. Yeah, they're all selling gold and silver. But
Jason
I
Berger's
gotta
guys,
just
like,
be careful about working with them on any real estate transactions. I wouldn't advise it.
Don't do
But
a Watergate
anyway,
type of thing.
yeah, Whitney Webb appears. Scott Ritter appears over there. So many,
They do.
great people.
Whitney did Kim Iverson, and it dropped. That is worth a frickin' listen.
Yeah.
If you really want to understand what the border situation's about and
Yeah.
the coming technocracy, you really have to pay attention to what Whitney's saying.
Yeah, and what I like about Natalie and Clayton, when Whitney Webb starts talking, they don't interrupt her.
Yeah.
They let her fly. So here we go. This is Clayton Morris, I believe. This
Guys,
is
if you're
it.
sort of sitting back thinking that this is not going to happen, and you're thinking that these NATO heads, these European heads, these war hawks in the Pentagon and in Congress are just going to allow Putin to move forward and capture Odessa, move past the Dnieper River, and
Right.
permanently garrison those areas and turn that into full Russia, you've got another thing coming. They are not going to allow this. It is too valuable a resource area for the West that wants to use and steal those resources.
Kinda quiet. I
They
don't know. Is it
cannot
quiet for you
allow this
guys?
defeat to happen, and they won't. They've said
we're
as
good.
much. I mean, listen to what they're saying and pay attention to what they're doing. They're saying it out loud, and they're now sending $61 billion. And they're already readying
could go up.
another $1
Yeah,
billion
quiet.
package on top of the $61 billion. This is not going to stop. So exactly how is Europe going to send troops? Well, it's going to happen in one of two ways. Send in the troops. European forces could undertake either non-combat or combat operations. To relieve some of the pressure on Ukraine, a strictly non-combat mission would be easiest to sell in most European capitals. European forces could relieve the Ukrainian performing logistics functions, such as maintaining and repairing combat vehicles, by staying west of the Dnieper River, a natural barrier protecting much of Ukraine from Russian advances. European forces would demonstrate that they are not there to kill Russian soldiers, preempting the inevitable Russian accusation of European aggression. Or, of course, the next step is to actually go in and defend with full military might to attack Russia. And
Well, yeah,
Rishi
France
Sunak,
just dropped
British,
2,000 troops
in
there.
the UK,
Yeah.
will put defense
This
industry
week.
into war mode, he announced.
Yeah, this is frightening.
So you have two choices, right? You can sit back and allow European forces to kind of go in as support forces, but of course,
They are.
Foreign
They're
Affairs
going in
magazine knows
as
that there's no
support
Europeans-
forces,
no
but they're
Ukrainians
going to
left.
end up on the front line.
So you can't just have them be support forces. They need to be frontline
Exactly.
infantry. They need to be frontline
Exactly,
forces
'cause they're the
to
only
go
ones
up
that can
against
do-
Russia's advance. That's what this is amounting to.
Yep.
I mean, if you think for a second that these guys are going to accept some sort of a ceasefire and a peace agreement that doesn't have Russia going all the way back past the Donbass, all the way back into what was pre-war Russia, technically, I mean, they're not going to do that. They're absolutely not going to do that.
Now, I brought that for a specific reason. What you pointed out there, Chanda, when I was young, that's exactly what got us full-blown into Vietnam. Sending over support forces.
staff. Yep.
Support forces. So they're trying to pull that bullshit again with the Vietnam thing. It's all over again. It's
Well, and they're sneaking
scary.
them in, right? Nobody really covered the fact that France dropped 2,000. 1,000 landed, and then another 1,000 came in right behind them. So
Yeah.
2,000 troops just came in this week to Odessa, and nobody's talking about it except for independent media, the outskirts media, but mainstream media fucking silent about it. Why?
Well-
Because they don't want to rile up the masses about it.
Yeah,
Just start
exactly.
slowly sneaking them in there and building them up.
Exactly so. And this, in tandem with the colleges protesting, all of
Yeah,
this
look
stuff.
over here. Look
With
over
all
here.
the money that they've dropped on Israel, let me ask you, Chanda, on Israel, why do we need to drop 29, 30, 40 billion dollars on top of what we already give them a year, which we shouldn't anyway? Why? Has Israel been
Because-
damaged?
'Cause
Are they
Iran
just
bad? Iran bad. Because it's not even about Gaza anymore. they're not the main talking heads. They're not even talking about that. They're saying Iran's scary. We have to back Israel's play when they stare Iran down eye to eye, and
So
that's what they're saying.
So they're dropping a $29 billion gas bomb, Molotov cocktail, right in the middle of Iran to Israel. That's what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. So more war, no peace, and the great majority of that's going straight to the military-industrial complex. Now, meanwhile...
Oh, but it's staying home. 73% of that is going to stay here in the great United States. Where
yeah,
we
and
can
it's
build
going to
those
create jobs.
bombs and missiles with white phosphorus. Yeah.
Jobs. Not to mention, what's going to murder a few babies and kill families and destroy infrastructure, but it's okay. It's going to create
Hamas
jobs.
kills babies too.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God. Gee, many Christmas. Anyway, this was beyond unsettling. This was unconscionable, and I wanted to bring this. I know everybody has seen this already, but I got to play it again. This is what we're doing to professors and students in this country because they want to stop a genocide. This is Biden's America. I thought that was right on. So enjoy this once again. Not.
People are fascists. You are Hitler. You are a laughing dog. Shame on you. May you never live another day. I am a professor. This is an Hitler professor, everyone. I am a professor. In the comics. You are rabid dogs. You are.
But you want to hear the irony of that woman, probably, and I'm just going to speculate here. She probably rooted on the January 6th protesters getting the shit beat out of them and fucking arrested.
I hope not. I mean,
and that is what we're dealing with in this country right now. These violent swings of inconsistency of, I support a First Amendment right until it's your First Amendment right and I don't agree with what you say. And the pendulum just keeps violently swinging back and forth. And it's not going to get any better, especially with whoever gets elected next.
Brother Johnny Graz says, trained by Israel, funded by AIPAC, deployed against Americans. A Zionist anywhere is a threat to freedom everywhere. That was very well coined, and that's the professor that was being hauled away by a police person with a stocking covering their face. I mean, this is
our militarized police that train in Israel.
Our militarized police.
No.
It's beyond. It's beyond.
They go to
beyond.
Israel and fucking train. You know that, right? Like,
yes,
they
I
train
do
in
know
tactics
that.
in Israel.
It is that, and I got to remind everybody, this is Beauty and the Boomer After Dark, so we don't hold back on the language or anything else. We try and keep it going. So.
I
it's
never
just,
hold back on the language. It don't
I
matter
know,
if it's
I want everybody to be themselves here. Just be kind in the chat to each other because you all have a wrench. This is, did you bring this or was this mine?
I brought this. This is just a look at what Gaza looks like. We haven't seen a lot of footage. Remember, they got in there, kind of shut down. Well, they killed all the journalists, too, that were getting inside there taking video. Someday there'll be condos there. I was going to mute this. They don't have to put this sappy clarinet music in this. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. I just brought it so we could get a look at what it's actually looking like in Gaza, but
tell me that's not genocide.
that is 100% genocide. It looks like a fucking nuke went off there.
There is no way that they can rebuild that country. They will be bulldozing that for years.
And that was the point. From day one, that was the point. You don't leave anything for them to resettle. You totally root them out is what they've been trying to do. And I mean, they've even said that. They've even said it in that fucking term.
Yeah, I know.
It's so gross.
Yeah.
Oh, this was the funniest thing to happen all week, I gotta say.
Now, you brought this, didn't you?
Yeah, okay, so I got this from Anna Parapel. So the legendary State Department, who is Spook? Who is this guy? His name's it starts with a V, right?
I just call him
We all
Sauger.
call him Fat Sauger, so I can't remember what his name is. But he gets asked if he's going to denounce Netanyahu's call for a crackdown on peaceful U.S. campus protests. Did you see that speech that Netanyahu gave where he
Oh
was
yeah,
like,
it was
the U.S.
cringe.
must crack down on these anti-Semitic protests? Like, you're just, okay. That's our First Amendment right. But anyways, so he gets asked. This is State Department. This is hilarious. It's like 2.5 minutes long. You might want to speed it up. It is a beautiful back and forth from a real journalist asking him questions and him trying to dance around it.
Okay, let me get this fired up. I'm having a little misfire there, so let's get it going.
Yesterday, the Israeli Prime Minister called for a crackdown on pro-Palestinian protesters in the United States of America. Do you find this to be
I knew it started
a
with
gross,
a V.
a galling interference in American affairs,
Sorry,
especially
sorry.
from a leader of a country that has just received $26 billion of American taxpayer money? Do you find that to be annoying or in any way
Tell me where to cut it.
interfering in the affairs of the American
cut.
public and exercising
No,
their right
it's
to
not.
demonstrate?
Well, Said, I will leave it to the Prime
That's
Minister's
good.
office to offer any clarification on his comments, but I don't believe he called for a crackdown.
He
Let me just
literally
say,
calls for a
though,
crackdown.
that
He literally calls for a crackdown.
let's be real about the facts, Said, which is that in the aftermath of October 7th, we are very much seeing a surge in anti-Semitism across the world, and its tragedy demands action.
Right.
Beyond that, though, we of course support the right of anybody to peacefully protest, to demonstrate, to make their voices heard, to express themselves in a peaceful and nonviolent way.
Right.
However, we also believe that harmful rhetoric, whether it be rooted in anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, is incredibly problematic and needs to be condemned and called out against. But beyond that, as it relates to the individual policies that are being pursued in dealing with these demonstrations on individual college campuses, I would defer to the local jurisdictions to speak to that.
Yeah, I understand everything that you said, but I'm asking you, there's a foreign leader who's saying that American law enforcement, including the National Guard, ought to crack down on Americans exercising their First Amendment right to free speech. I'm asking you on this particular issue, not on October 7th, not on all this that happened. I'm asking you, do you find this to be appalling by a foreign leader in direct interference in the way Americans conduct themselves?
A leader can call on whatever they'd like to say, but it's, no one is naive to the fact that utilization of the National Guard is ultimately a decision up to individual governors.
I understand.
And so beyond that, the Prime Minister is welcome to make whatever comments he'd like.
No, the Prime Minister isn't welcome to make any comments he's like. He's a genocidal maniac, and so are all of them over there in their government. So
he dances for like 6 minutes around that damn question. He throws Hamas out there. I mean, every talking point that they have, he could not condemn it, not once. And then he said, well, our president gets asked to comment on foreign affairs that are happening. Doesn't mean that, so it was just song and dancing. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah,
So anyways, that was beside the point. So I tweeted out and I go, oh, the State Department's Fat Sauger got owned today. And within 45 freaking minutes, I'm not even kidding, Sauger and Jetty tweets out, I've had it with people saying I look like this dude, insulting honestly.
I really don't care, Sauger, at all. But that's
Oh my God, it was too funny.
Yeah, it was. It was very funny. Anyway, what do you got? This is, you got another one here, and is this what is this?
I think this is when the State Department gets asked about the Nasser and Al Sharif hospitals, the buried bodies that they're finding, that some were buried alive, and this is what he has to say. It's only 2 minutes long.
And I know that Sam Husseini's been asking him questions that he's not responding to.
He can't answer. He's song and dancing. He's totally song and dancing.
The Gaza Civil Service today held a press conference this morning, which was televised, and they said that evidence showed that many of those pulled out from the 3 mass graves that they found, including children, were tortured before being killed. Some even showed signs of being buried alive, along with other crimes against humanity that they accuse Israeli forces of. They called for an independent forensic investigation. This administration repeatedly says that it asks the Israeli government to investigate itself. as a mediator for peace between Israelis and Palestinians, how does it ever make sense that the United States asks the accused party to examine itself and provide reports that you have previously said that you actually trust? What's wrong with an independent, scientific, forensic investigation? I mean, if the results of such an independent investigation prove the accusations to be baseless,
You can kill it wherever you get the gist of it.
then that would be in Israel's favor, wouldn't it?
So,
Hear
as
this
it
idiot.
relates to the continued reporting about, we're seeing about these mass graves, first National Security Advisor Sullivan spoke a little bit about this yesterday. But we
Bullshit.
continue to find these reports incredibly troubling. And that's why
Troubling.
yesterday you saw the National Security Advisor call for this to be thoroughly investigated. We want to see
Israel.
these facts looked into, and simultaneously we're continuing to press the government of Israel for more information. The IDF has spoken to this in some sense already, but we are continuing to press them for additional information.
We're pressing Israel. We're telling
Yeah, let's
Israel to
investigate yourself. Yeah, give me a
That's
break.
the American way. That's the way we've always done it. The government always investigates itself. The three-letter agencies investigate themselves. That's the American way. So when I tweeted that out, I was like, "Oh, something about that's the American way." You know, we always find we did nothing wrong. Somebody literally came on that post and was like, "There's tens of thousands of people in jail who don't get to investigate themselves. What are you talking about?" Like, ugh.
Yeah, they always try to two-side you with that crap. There's no two sides. This is
No.
genocide, clear as day is long. Claire Daly, you brought Claire.
Claire says.
Has been seen cannot be unseen, and the world can now see exactly what European values really are. 200 days of Israel systematically wiping Gaza from the earth, 505 bombs a day, 21 an hour, doctors executed, mass graves in hospitals, journalists murdered, and all the while with not just the silence, but the active complicity of the European Union. The European Union who flew the flag of the oppressor from day one, whose countries axed the funding to a starving Palestinian population despite any evidence of any wrongdoing from anyone against UNRWA, who increased the flow of weapons to Israel tenfold since they started a genocide, weapons to slaughter Palestinians. So keep your hand-wringing and your crocodile tears. It couldn't have happened without your complicity. It's continuing now because of it. European values, same as it always was. Murder and colonialists, you'll never be forgotten.
Murdering colonialists. I just want to do the Howard Dean yow every time she speaks.
I know.
Nails it.
Like I said,
Murdering
my offer will
colonialists.
stand indefinitely. Mick Wallace and Claire for our 535 members of Congress,
All of them.
and we'll throw in Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to boot. But just give us Mick
God.
Wallace and Claire. They would do much better running this government. Comrade Misty Putin Buddy is responding to Fiorella Isabel. Breaking, the U.S. Senate has adopted a package of bills on assistance to Ukraine and confiscation of assets of the Russian Federation due to a procedural vote. Though still cosplaying democracy, Washington is not reformable. And Comrade Misty Putin says, of course, the U.S. government is at best an organized crime operation, at worst a terrorist organization. It's really both. You cannot vote your way out of this. And you can't vote your way out of this, guys. You can
Electoralism,
tactically
not saving
vote
you.
on certain things, but that's about it. Did you want to read this, Fee says?
I can't read on the black background. Sorry.
Okay, I'll explain AOC's faux outrage on Palestine to you like it's... She pretends to care about Palestine because that cause will allow the anti-Hamas, pro-Israel right to associate pro-Palestine efforts with Democrats, radical protesters, and awful politicians like the Squat. So Democrats can then push Biden, who is literally enabling this genocide, yes he is, and whom she supports, as the lesser of evils, while the right helps out as well by competing on with who's more pro-Zionist of the two. So then you have no actual built movement to oppose them outside of this structure of purposely failed electoralism. Choose your fighter. Hence the "she is the best we have" mantra.
Yeah.
So you continue to choose between them and make these morons rich as they do nothing but you pick Team Red or Team Blue, who both F you and the rest of the world. Stop giving credit to what they say to anyone, but especially politicians. It's what they do that matters. You're welcome. I mean, Fee knocks it. That's exactly what we've been saying, and Fee says it eloquently. Thank you, Fee.
She didn't vote to give the money.
Yeah.
She voted president.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to change this graphic, but what's wrong with this graphic, Chanda? $4 billion.
You mean $4 billion? The fact that there's a lobbying group in the middle of it? Yeah.
Yeah, and that $4 billion should be now, what should that be? It should be $33 billion. And then AIPAC comes down, and then AIPAC gives hundreds of millions to our Congress. If that isn't buying politicians, nothing is. AIPAC, in my opinion, is a foreign agent working on the behalf of the Israeli government, and so is the ADL. So get it through your head, or get your mind right. They are controlling the United States government by buying off everybody, including your President of the United States. Sorry, that's my opinion, and I am sticking with it. Now, you brought this one from Donald
Right here,
J.
400,000 an election, or 400 million an election is what AIPAC is spending to buy our fucking representatives.
Even if it's $1 billion, do the math. I mean, they come out.
Yeah, they win. It's a win for them, no matter what.
Win all the way. You brought a Trump.
I brought a Donald Trump. I had to bring in Trump. So
oh my
God.
God.
He says crooked Joe Biden would say that he ran because of Charlottesville. Well, that's the case. He's done a really terrible job because Charlottesville is like peanuts compared to the riots and anti-Israel protests that are happening all over the country right now. And it's Crooked's fault. It's Crooked's fault because he sends the wrong message every single time. The fact is that crooked Joe Biden hates Israel and hates the Jewish people. The problem is that he hates the Palestinians even more. He just doesn't he just doesn't know what to do. Trump.
Donnie's both siding it there again.
He is, but he's just as damn bad. He's just as bad. He's trying to say, oh, these crazy radical, these pro-frickin' Palestinian supporters, and he hates Israel. I love Israel. Better vote for me. Does it get any better under Trump? No.
It doesn't.
Jared Kushner, do you know who his fucking advisor is? This genocide is not going to change under Biden or under Trump.
No, it won't. And the problem with this is, or the glass half full, whatever, we're screwed either way. But you'll have the Democrats going full on exhibition, virtue signaling against Trump the whole time, and that might tie up. That might tie up the Trump administration from getting us into more wars and things like that.
The Trump administration could hardly get anything fucking done. They were tied up the whole fucking time. Even if he gets elected, there's 91 indictments. They're still fucking coming after him. I mean,
but Biden's getting us into World War III times 4. I mean,
already there.
What the hell?
I mean, Trump will pull us out.
No,
Trump's not
hell
gonna
no.
Pull us out.
No.
He's friends with the military-industrial complex, the weapons developers too.
Nobody's going to get it through their thick head on that side of the issue that the lesser of two evils is still evil, and the damage that both of those administrations do would be horrific. So I don't know what the answer is, but it's sure not through electoralism. But
I don't know. I see a holy war coming either way.
Yeah, I just, I don't want to be cynical about it, but I'm being,
Well, and the thing is we sit here and we talk about these elected puppets that don't mean shit, because at the end of the day, they're 100% paid for, and they're doing the bidding of people that we don't even know their fucking name,
Yeah,
we know the family names that control everything, but they're the ones that are in control, not these idiots.
Just remember a couple of things. When you go vote this time, remember one, you want to tactically vote for your best interest, if there's anything on the ballot that's in your best interest. But that being said,
you know what that looks like anymore. Palestine's my number one issue, and I just can't even give a shit about anything else.
Well, that rules out Robert F. Kennedy Jr. too.
Dead babies kind of rules out everything else for me.
Yeah, it does. It rules out Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Other than tactically voting for him as a spoiler.
He's there to spoiler.
He's
a
spoiler.
spoiler.
Yeah, and some people say, "Oh, he's going to spoil votes for Trump." Well, today I saw Biden's approval rating at 38.7, and I think his approval rating is probably closer to 20. But this current administration is, the Western media is in the tank for this administration. Not that they wouldn't be anymore for anybody else, but it's Biden. There's no way that Biden should be rewarded with another term in office. These politicians got to be punished, and I'll say it again, not with too much hesitancy anymore. But
that never punishes them.
You have to punish them.
If they don't get elected, if Biden doesn't get elected, the Democrats have a record-breaking fundraising year in 2025.
I know. It's tossing it back and forth. It's the same old crap.
Because they'll do the, oh my God, so scary, give us your money, and everybody does.
The best things that are happening right now, in my opinion, is all the protests in favor of Palestine and against the funding of this Ukrainian Nazi battalion.
The kids that see through their bullshit already. So
and that's why they're
going to be the ones that finally overthrow this damn shit.
That's why they put the TikTok ban into that omnibus
they're definitely
bill.
scared of TikTok, and we've got that on the deck. But let's hear from Pelosi first. This will gross you out.
Oh yeah, this is a clip. So sorry.
You know what the protesters and the hecklers are saying about Joe Biden, the label genocide Joe. Could support for Israel cost Democrats the election this fall?
Well, it's interesting to me that you use that term because that's what we see at 3 o'clock in the morning outside of our house, flashing as long as this room, a sign that says that. And he has been, as I say, the force for humanitarian assistance to him. He now is calling for the ceasefire.
That was a buffing
resisting
cloth.
the ceasefire at this point is Hamas. Remember, Hamas is a terrorist organization in our view.
Shoulder pads were
Hamas
out in what, the 80s?
The destruction of the state of Israel. So this is more complicated.
I do too, because mine have rounded out.
About the election,
you got pads in the trailer park.
Putin's interest for what's his name to win.
What's his name?
Therefore,
what's his name to win? She won't even say Trump's name now. What's his name?
Of some of what's going on.
Is he Baltimore?
He's Voldemort.
You can shut it off, whatever.
It's organic. It's spontaneous.
He's not saying.
Yeah, I can't listen to the House Drinker.
Dude,
yeah,
it's so funny. I had to bring that because that guy,
that guy. That guy. Oh, he's got 100,000 indictments on him already. How can anybody vote for him?
Oh God, they love that 91 indictments, don't they? That's the biggest talking point on CNN right now. 91 indictments, 91 indictments, 91 indictments.
Well, Chanda, we may see the first presidency being run from a jail. So I don't know. That's whatever.
Whatever.
I think they should
can
all
hang out
be
with
in jail.
Epstein and Harvey Weinstein. Oh wait, they're not in jail anymore.
Oh my God, is Bill Cosby out of jail? I think he's out of jail too, right?
Yeah, they're all out of jail. So this is okay. So Charlie, what is it? ZXI. She made an amazing. Okay, so we saw a victimized Jewish protester down at Columbia this week. I remember, and she went out there. Well, this is part 2. A second part got made of that video. You'll recognize it when you see it.
All right. Oh my God. Shit.
Did you read my schmoolie? His beard so unruly. I guess hubby fooled me.
Oh, nice offering there, Chanda. What are you looking at?
I'm sorry, I got sidetracked because ARIM dropped the link to Mindfest Live, where Pasta is on a panel currently dismantling, the guy we think is a CIA op, Destiny. And I dropped it. You guys go watch it after the show. Of course, we'll finish the show, but I got to tell you, it looks good. Jimmy Dore's on a couple of panels. Like, if you're looking for something to zone out on tonight, this is it.
All right, cool. I'll have to go back and watch it. We're not competing with anybody's stream. We've been living at 7 p.m. Pacific on Saturday night for the last 4 years. So
I have been more committed to y'all and this Saturday night thing than anything else in my entire life. I've never done anything for 4 years of Saturdays in my life.
Well, I don't have a life out. Yeah, Saturday night's been Saturday night used to do something, but anymore not so much. Anyway,
this guy, he says some good stuff, but I don't know. There's been a few things that turned me off.
I know. I'm not going to keep bringing him.
Carol. Yeah.
But did you know that JFK was about to force AIPAC to register as a foreign agent in 1963, and then that November, right as it was all about to happen, he magically got, So
Have you ever wondered
anyway,
how we got to this point, where one of the biggest lobbying groups in America can openly brag that they are representing a foreign country? This is from AIPAC's website, but somehow they don't have to register under the FARA Act as someone acting on behalf of a foreign
he's trying to get
actor.
settled too.
They literally brag about how many millions they spent and about how 98% of their buying of our politicians was successful this election cycle. Did you know that they were actually this close to having to register as a foreign agent before a certain thing happened? Here, I'll show you, and I'll show you where you can find all these primary sources too.
No, we'll take your word for it. I hear you.
Banshee Pelosi, welcome. We got Banshee Pelosi in there.
Banshee Pelosi, I love that name. Sabby, I got to say something. I was going to cut last night's clip and substitute it, but this one is so important, and I'd already produced it. But Sabby did a hell of a report on the protests last night. If you get a chance to go over, she cut it. I think she dropped it about 2 hours ago. But you need to watch that. She did a great job. But this one was really good too. So listen up, Sabby says.
Let me pause here for just a second and let me just chime in. So more billions of dollars going to Ukraine. You guys, we called this from day one that there was no way Ukraine would be able to beat Russia. I don't know how much money we've given them now, but at one point, I think we exceeded 100 billion last time I had checked, but we're continuing to give them money. And my whole thing is at this point in time, somebody is going to have to really put their foot on the ground and call this out and call it out for what it really is. And I mean, it's going to have to be more politicians in the House calling this out besides Marjorie Taylor Greene, besides certain members of the squad. More people have to be more vocal, because the thing is this. All that money that we gave Ukraine, we could have used that money and that aid to actually fix problems here for Americans in this country. We have increase in homelessness in this country. We have a healthcare crisis in this country, right? We have a sickness crisis in this country. We have educational issues in this country. We have infrastructure problems in this country. And that money should have been invested in America. That money should have been invested for us, not for a country that is losing this war, will continue to lose this war, and then going forward is going to have an economy that is going to collapse. Are we supposed to help them with that too? And why is all the money and resources coming from the United States? Why aren't any of these other countries helping out Ukraine? Oh, that's right. Some of them decided to stop doing that because they realized they had to take care of their people first. Everybody comes to, we are not a bank. This country is not a piggy bank that you can just dip your hand into as much as you need it. And that is exactly what Zelensky has been doing. Do you know there have been reports made that some of the money and aid that has gone to Ukraine has not even been used towards the war? There are people in Ukraine out there buying yachts. Where's this money going? And the Pentagon, they couldn't even pass a freaking audit to show us where this money has been going. So Mike Johnson says that with this new bill, we're going to have more accountability in reference to where the money is going for Ukraine and how the money has been spent. Problem that I have is we didn't have this all along, or do we have it all along and they've been hiding things? What a mess, man.
Cue the screaming for an audit of the Pentagon people. They're going to say, "Oh, she's a MAGA." Jesus Christ, she was right on there. What did you find?
No, they're not doing no audits nowhere.
No, they're not.
They shut Bernie Sanders down this week, and all he wanted to do was like, "Hey, let's have a little accountability for this money we're going to give Israel." Like, holy shit, shut the fuck up, Bernie.
Well, they tell Bernie to say that. Bernie is not. He's not worth anything. He's their foil. He's their controlled foil. I'm telling you.
Oh,
again.
absolutely. Let's go ahead and skip 29.
Okay.
I'm not sure what 30 is. You brought it. I can tell because it's black screen. I don't have black screen.
Let me see what I got on 30.
We can skip 31 too. I know we're pressed on time tonight, and we've got a huge deck still to go. So
I'm going to go to 32.
I'm trying to jump the sale stuff.
Yeah, bring it Monday. Okay. Here I'm going to. Okay, there you go. That's
this piece of shit. This piece of shit. So, senior Democrat calls for arrests of the left-wing fascists, urging a Gaza ceasefire. So, this is the one and only Adam Smith. These totalitarian protesters are trying to silence anyone who dares to disagree with them. Washington Post doing some great work.
This guy is owned by the military-industrial complex. He is the #1 owned in Washington State. Yeah, he's terrible, and
he's terrible. They're all terrible. Did you see Patty Murray this week?
Oh my God! My
God!
I learned something new. I didn't know something. I'm going to be totally honest about this. I didn't know that you couldn't recall a senator. The only way you can get rid of a senator. The only way you can do that is to have a 2/3 majority vote in Congress to expel them from the Senate. That's it. I didn't know that.
Exactly.
I should know that,
the only way
but I
you can
didn't.
reseat them, right?
Yeah. So I call for recalling Fetterman. Yeah, I recalled Fetterman, and a lot of people are saying, "Yeah, recall Fetterman." Well, you can't do it. But again, Washington State has some of the worst blue MAGA representation.
You sent me that article about how we're the most corrupt state in the nation now.
Yeah, we are.
I'm not shocked.
We are. So little old Washington State in the Pacific Northwest is horrible.
Go liberals.
Horrible representation. And I'm a recovering Democrat from 45 years. So I just should have left before 2016, I guess.
A lot of bad addictions in my life, but that was the worst.
Ron Paul, say what you want. But I like hearing it. Here we go.
When future historians go searching for the final nail in the U.S. coffin, they may well settle on the date April 20th, 2024. On that day, Congress passed legislation to fund 2.5 wars, hand what's left of our privacy over to the CIA and the NSA, and give the U.S. president the power to shut down whatever part of the internet he disagrees with. The U.S. and its allies have already sent over $300 billion to Ukraine, and the country is still losing its war with Russia. Nobody believes another $60 billion will pull a victory from the jaws of defeat. But this additional money is meant to keep up appearances until November at the expense of Americans who are forced to pay for it and Ukrainians who are forced to die for it. Speaker Johnson could not have passed these monstrosities without the full support of House Democrats, and as the majority of Republicans voted against more money for Ukraine. So in the worst example of bipartisanship, Johnson reached across the aisle, stiffed the Republican majority that elected him Speaker, and pushed through a massive gift to the warfare corporate welfare state. After the House voted to send another $60 billion to notoriously corrupt Ukraine, members waved Ukrainian flags on the House floor and chanted, "Ukraine, Ukraine." While I find it's distasteful and disgusting, in some ways it seemed fitting. Not to be outdone, the U.S. Senate on that same day passed the extension of Section 702 of the FISA Act, which not only allowed the government to continue spying on us without a warrant, but also contained new language massively expanding how they can spy on us. Many conservative voters are asking, what's the point of Republican control of the House is if the agenda is determined by Democrats? Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is reported to have bragged to his colleagues about how easily Speaker Johnson gave Democrats everything they wanted and asked for nothing in return.
That's because they've got photos of him with the babysitter. We already established this fact, or something to that, extent.
I know. It's the corrupt states of America. That's all it is. But Ron Paul was terrifically right there. Yeah, he just left out the TikTok ban, or he said it in such a way you didn't know specifically what it is. Those omnibus bills are a poison pill for the entire country. 5,000-page bill. Who reads them? Yeah. Who actually
I got a plan.
Them?
We're going to hire an aide to sneak some freaking term limits in there.
Yeah, you brought this one, Chanda. How sweet.
I know Israel has stolen more tech, intelligence, secrets, nuclear materials, and money from America than all other countries combined, but it's our greatest ally.
Go frickin' figure. Now, this is General Wesley Clark, and March 2nd, 2007, we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq, then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off with Iran. I think the plan's going quite well.
It's going quite well, and I remember reading his book when this first came out and thinking, Libya?
Well, I had the pleasure of hosting a house party, and he was in attendance, and I got some one-on-one time with the general. Very personable guy, very sharp, but I disagreed with him on one point. I disagreed with him on the point about Vietnam. He was adamant about the democracy angle of bringing or keeping democracy and saving us from that. And if I'm misquoting him, I apologize, but I was there, and that's what he basically said. And I said, no, I disagree. I think that we went to Vietnam, for sure, to take away their shit, their minerals, their rubber, their timber, everything else. That's what we do in every country, and I'm going to stick to that. I absolutely believe that.
But you don't believe that we were bringing democracy? Oh, come on.
That's the excuse when then the terrorist nation of the United States
actually
goes
thought
to
that.
do that.
Come on. I wonder if he still believes that.
Well, I think he's supposed to say that. You never know anymore. You brought this, the military recruiting crisis?
Yeah, the military recruiting crisis. Even veterans don't want their families to join. Yeah, we've been talking about this. Their numbers are super low for, going to war.
No, and that's they're hell bent on getting us into a war so they can turn those advisors and ground troops for these damn wars. And Israel is foaming at the mouth to have that happen.
Support group.
Yeah, here's who really is in control here. I brought this.
So she is completely correct, and everybody needs to be paying attention to everything that I'm about to tell you. It's really sketchy, and it might open up everybody's eyes just a little bit more. Which, before I go any further in this video, let me just say this is for educational purposes only. You have to say that now. But stay with me, because this shit's about to get deep. Now, like I stated, this is all your Republican House members, right? These right here are your Democratic House leaders, and all these people are your Democratic Senate leaders, with all these people being your Republican Senate leaders. I'm sure everybody gets it by now. But what I really want to show you is who each and every single one of their top contributors are. So this right here is Hakeem Jeffries, okay? He is the Democratic House Minority Leader, okay? That is his top contributor. This is your Democratic House Representative, okay? That is her top contributor. This is good old Pete Aguilar, your Democratic House Representative. That is his top contributor. This is another Democratic House Representative.
Oh,
Can you guess who his top contributor is? This is Patty Murray, okay? Your Democratic Senator.
Patty.
These are her top contributors, with them being in third place. And here's the interesting thing, right? Mitch McConnell's last election's top contributor was who? Yeah, I'm sure you can guess who it was. This right here is your Minority Whip Republican Senator, okay? That is his top contributor. This is another Republican Senator. Can you guess who her top contributor was? I'm sure you get it by now. But if it's not who I showed you it is, it's actually Blackstone instead. And Steven Schwarzman is the chairman, CEO, and co-founder of Blackstone, one of the largest alternative investment firms with over $1 trillion in assets, a company that BlackRock themselves and Larry Fink parted ways with back in 1995. These right here are a list of controversies behind Blackstone's name in itself. I'm sure you could just read for yourself. With this right here being one of the most controversial backgrounds of any company ever, and I'm sure you can read it for yourself and you don't need my finger pointing in your face. You see this right here, specifically right here? I can't read that part off. I promise you I can't, because I'll get violated for it. But I'm sure people can easily put the puzzle pieces together by now, right? And if you can't, all you really got to do is just look at the graph right here from last December. I'm sure everybody can understand by now why there was an urgent need for a TikTok ban, especially one that was put into an aid package bill for Ukraine and Israel themselves.
Oh, they even admit it. We skipped the slide, but yeah, they got caught on a hot mic saying we got a problem. Israel saying we got a problem with TikTok and the younger generation. And that's exactly why they went after TikTok. That's so gross. But yeah, how do you vote that out? That Cookie says, how do you vote that out? You don't vote that out.
You don't. You don't vote it out.
That's why you don't fall for the rhetoric every year. And I'm so sad to see so many of our friends wanting that camaraderie of working a campaign together and getting duped into people like RFK Jr.
Yeah, you got to vote tactically with your voice and your dollars if you have them. But anyway, here we go. How it started, Washington crossed into Delaware, and how it's going. I still think this is this should not be allowed. And Rashid, well, I don't know Ilhan Omar with the flag. I don't think another nation's flag should be prominently displayed, much less waved about in our House chambers. I think that's ridiculous.
Absolutely, I agree.
Treason.
I think that it should be outlawed.
It should.
No other flag should come into our chamber.
No. I mean, they have laws now where you're not supposed to put another country's flag above the U.S. flag, which I really don't give a shit about, but I do give a shit about it. That's where my hypocrisy is. You don't do that. You don't celebrate another country in your own house. That's just where I'm at. So, did you bring this or did I bring this? I think
I brought this. If you were forced to live in one of these two places, which would you pick? Nazi Germany or Communist Soviet Union? Look at this. This right here is a prime example of the propaganda that Americans have been fed our whole entire life.
It's working. It's working.
It's totally working. That's what I saw when I saw this. I was like, unfucking believable.
And that's where this one was. So yeah.
Yeah.
We're all being played. Divide and conquer. If they keep us fighting with each other, we will never fight the true enemy. And it is the damn establishment. We've been advocating this. Everybody in our chat knows this. We're preaching to the choir on this, but you're exactly right. We are being played. We're being distracted every day, right, left, and everything else. Now, did you have something to say about this?
Oh, so this was midweek. Bernie and AOC came swooping in, and AOC was all handsy and lovey-dovey with Bernie and, with Biden, and it was just gross. And, of course, they posed for pictures, but this looks like a Fee says. What does Fee say?
Fee says, supporting Biden in 2024 after he's got us into this failed proxy war in Ukraine and is funding Israel's genocide in Gaza as the U.S. is falling apart economically and socially makes you an existential sellout clown. What a pathetic, spineless coward you turned out to be at AOC. And I believe that 100%. They are grooming her. They are grooming her to be the next Nancy Pelosi 1.2. Don't let it happen. But like we've said before, it's almost impossible to stop this in electoralism. So we've got to get in the streets. We've got to do things. What you brought Howard Zen meme there, and you've brought Joe Biden.
You want to back up one, though? I want to catch this Katie Johnstone one.
Where is it? What slide is it on?
43.
Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Here we go. I'm getting trigger happy here.
So Katie Johnstone, I love what she says. She says, so it turns out that the U.S. president can be a literal dementia patient, and the U.S. empire will tunnel on completely unhinged by this. Literally anyone can be president, and it would not matter. A coma patient could be president. A jar of Clamato olives could be president. Yeah, that's what we've proven by having Biden as president, right?
Well, yeah. A bowl of oatmeal is president right now, so why can't that other stuff be?
Dude, he went and shook hands with the ghost again this week. Did you see that crap? Why does he always do that? He turns around from the podium and just starts shaking his hand. There's nobody there.
Let's invite him to the Halloween show. What is this? Are you preferencing this or just play it, or what is this?
I don't know what this is. I'm sure it's Biden being stupid.
Imagine what we can do next. 4 more years.
Oh, God.
4 more years. 4 more years.
Oh, it reminded me of 1984.
Yeah.
Didn't that remind you of 1984? That's why I brought it. Like
The Wall. Remember The Wall? The movie
yeah,
we just
The Wall.
watched?
Something. Yeah, like totally. Oh my God. That freaked me out when I heard it. I was like, ah.
Yeah, that's terrible. What is Bernie running? Oh, Visiting Angels.
This is Visiting Angels. This is the updated Visiting Angels.
Visiting angels care so much. Visiting
wait for it. The end is so worth it.
When you need a friend to talk to, we know how you feel. Visiting angels, America's choice in home care.
That's why it's like the end is so worth it.
Are you being ageist? Are you, Chanda? Quit being ageist.
No, I've worked in the nursing homes. I've worked in a lot of the
I know
nursing,
you have.
memory. That's exactly what it's like. That's what the commercials are exactly.
You brought Mitch. What's Mitch got going on?
Oh, this
here
is
today?
Mitch and all of his friends. Just check it out.
Okay. All right.
Reminder that these are the people that actually decide basically everything on behalf of the entire country, where our money gets spent, how much we pay in taxes, whether or not TikTok.
What? Wait, she
gets
hold it. Put
banned,
her mask
what's
on.
Considered freedom, what's not. These
Like
people
Lurch.
probably don't even know how to attach a PDF file to an email. These people probably don't even know how to connect their phone to the Wi-Fi. These people haven't worked a real fucking job in probably 30 years. And also keep in mind that once you get voted into one of these political positions, you get paid at minimum like $200,000 for the rest of your life. So they can just sit in Congress, do absolutely nothing, and just age gracefully, in quotation marks. The worst part about elderly people being in political power is that they're not even going to have to live through the decisions that they are making on behalf of everyone else. They'll be gone by the time actual real consequences come from their actions that they're deciding on right now. It just makes me sick. And if you look down there, I don't see a single person that looks like they are even at the age of 40. Every single one of these people is 60 plus, and there's a reason for that.
Oh, Derek Kilmer was in there. Derek was in there. You know, our sellout here.
I'm glad he's gone.
He says these guys haven't worked a real job. They're busy working. They're doing insider trading. How do you think Nancy Pelosi did 3 times better than the actual fucking market? Like,
oh my God, yeah. Lila Charles Lee is in the house, everybody. Punch Up Podcast, her and Pat the Burner. Thank you, Lila. Thank you for bringing the laughs during these horrible times. Lila, it is hard as hell to do our show. You know,
used to be funnier.
Yeah, Chanda was even saying last week, a couple of years ago, we had some zingers, but now the satire has turned into tears. But that being said, here's something that might give you a grin. Chanda brought this.
Apparently, Granny Clampett had another son they never told us about. She left him behind in Kentucky.
Yeah. Old Mitch. Well, the glass half full on that is Mitch isn't running again. That's where we're at here. Just a little history reminder here. There has been no American president who has not engaged in wars and murders outside of the U.S. borders. Those 5 of them are now alive and had their bloody hands involved in wars in the countries mentioned below. And there's Jimmy Carter. A lot of people say, oh, Jimmy Carter. No. Balkans, Clinton, Iraq, Sudan, Rwanda, Bush Sr., Gulf War, Panama, Somalia, Soviet Union, and Bush Jr., Iraq, and Afghanistan. I guess his alphabet's a little bit. He can't fill up the tray. Of course, then there's Obama. There's, the Jesus for some people. Libya, Syria, Yemen, Afghanistan, Ukraine, and Chanda, I think Obama's still pushing the buttons for these countries. So once again,
do too. Come on, somebody other than Biden is making the calls for sure.
Now you brought Assface Adam Schiff here. What's going on with Adam these days?
Poor Adam Schiff. He had a bad trip this week because Rep. Adam Schiff's luggage was swiped from his car in safe San Francisco. We all know San Francisco is so safe. Pelosi makes sure it is. Forcing him to attend his fancy dinner in casual wear. Oh my God, the fucking horrors. I can't believe the New York Post is even reporting on this. But yeah.
How about would you buy a used car from him? No offense to used car salesmen. I apologize. This one is coming true, just like General Clark was saying about the they're going to hit all these countries. Well, George Orwell, the war is not meant to be won; it is meant to be continuous. George Orwell. I have to shout out Julian Assange.
I was going to say Julian Assange said it better.
Yeah, he did say it better.
Totally.
Much more accurate. I'm going to drop this in here real quick. Just a little bit of a warning to everybody. Vanguard recommends increasing inflation protection in portfolios. I'm not going to read that. Vanguard owns a good portion of the planet, by the way. But
Okay,
if
so what
they're...
is inflation protection? How do you? I'm a poor person who lives in a trailer park. Is that a thing you can buy or get? Is it like insurance?
Yeah, I think it's tantamount to hedging your bets. And
So while everybody's looking one way, our market might be in danger of crashing, and nobody's going to notice. Is that
if Vanguard's saying this is scary on multiple fronts. Vanguard's saying this. Not only are they using this to manipulate the markets because Vanguard, oh my God, but to increase the fear factor for everybody. And I'll have to say again, I read some reports that they're predicting the cost of food is going to go up 50% in the next 24 months. 50%.
Can you imagine? It's already up 75 fucking percent. How does it go another 50%? And inflation is theft because they're just raising the prices so they can pocket the goddamn money. We don't see major breakdowns in supply chain, no matter how much they try to tell us that. And we know that places like Walmart are securing their own fucking shipping routes now. They're not even going through the old ones. But what is a buy-in? I don't pretend to understand finances. If I did, I'd probably be living much better off. But keep being told we're gonna have a buy-in. It's not or a bailout. It's gonna be a bail-in, meaning that the Fed doesn't have but fucking 1% of the money on hand, cash value, actual dollars, and when the stilts come out from underneath this phony economy that we've been propped up for fucking ever, and that they've just been printing money to keep going for the last 10 years since 2008, it's all going to come crumbling fucking down. And that seems like it feels like we're a house of cards, and it's slowly falling right now in slow motion.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be
slow motion of it.
It's going to cascade and domino. So fear, everybody. But it's just the way it is. But you've got to just keep this in mind.
Get out of the U.S. by 2030.
Yeah, I've been looking, but I don't have the means to get out of the country. Besides, Chanda, ultimately, where are you going to go anyway?
I know. I'm cruising applications. Like you used to be able to apply to go to Switzerland, and they need people to fill up towns that they would let you come over. Whatever.
Italy, buy a house for a buck.
But even then, I'm like, fuck, I don't want to be that close to Europe. So Europe's going to fall before we freaking do. So I don't want to be in Europe. Where do you go? I mean, the people who got to Mexico, you're probably pretty good there, and even more south than that.
If somebody wants to drop a half a $1 million on me, or $1 million,
just drop it in super chat.
I'm serious. I would probably look really hard at Portugal.
Portugal, that's a good idea.
Portugal, it's in line with the Oregon weather pattern. It's right in that hemisphere right there.
You're right. You're right.
And I've heard that they're a little bit easier to expat to than most countries. So I've let the cat out of the bag. Now everybody's going to go to Portugal because Oz said so. Don't do that. Don't do that.
From Portugal. Jack says Portugal has gotten expensive.
Yes, it has. And Jack's, honest to God, I was looking at their housing, apartments and stuff. Yeah, it's up there, but it's not quite on par with the United States.
What about Belize? I'm thinking Belize.
Well, that's what Sister Amber's screaming about, Belize.
I've wanted to go to Belize since the 90s. Like, that's my ultimate dream place.
Yeah. And by the way, Jax, keep showing us all the great sites down in Mexico and all the great foods and things that you're doing.
Yeah.
Keep showing us how it is to actually live life instead of be a slave to the fucking oligarchy. So thank you again. I'm not going to bring a detailed report this week on job losses and closing, but National Coffee Shop, that's in Washington, D.C., they're shutting down. I think it's all stores.
Stores can't have coffee no more.
That's not the only coffee shop but jobs and businesses are shutting down, laying off across the damn country. And these are established businesses, small businesses, franchises. They are closing down left and right. Just be aware. It's going crazy, and a bunch more dropped today. I will try What's this? Cole convenience store chains Foxtrot closes all Austin locations. So everywhere's getting hit.
Poor Austin. Austin.
I know. Just across the country, it's just going to hell in a handbasket. But Biden created 15 million jobs.
Yeah. Did you see this next video?
Yes, I did. Let's play it. This will bug you a little bit, I think. Customer service, anyone? Can you open that case for me?
Looks like San Francisco is going to be the only store to lock everything up. I just spoke to some Target employees, and they just confirmed with me that they will be rolling this out to every Target location in the country. So, Targets all across America.
Socks! Underwear!
Everything in the store. Everything.
What's happening in America?
Look at the SKUs, though.
America.
So everything in their store is a new pilot program.
That's San Francisco, yeah.
They want to do it in multiple places, and it's not just Target. But do you know who owns Target, right?
Yeah, I did, and you just made me forget
Vanguard.
it. Vanguard, yeah, that's right.
Vanguard owns Target.
Yeah. So once again, I can't help but think that Bezos is helping this along too, because how does that stand to help Bezos profit? People are going to say fuck it, and they're going to buy shit online, and to hell with it, because
Guilty.
Yeah, because if you have to...
I'm not going to go ask some fucking worker who's like, I don't even have a key, and I can't get a key. I'll be back for my break in 15 minutes. Like, that's the hassle you get when you got to get something out of a case at any of these big
You
box
covered
stores.
that on your show Wednesday. Walmart, notoriously for that. You ask for somebody for help. Oh, I can't help you. I don't have a key for that. And they blow you off. Once in a while, they say, I'll get somebody, or I'll call somebody for you.
Very rarely.
That's
Only
it.
if you get a good person.
This is a great meme. Great meme, Chanda. I love it.
Will that be cash or surveillance? Boop.
Boop. Hell yeah.
Boop.
Exactly right. And
you know what I fell asleep listening to last night, and I just thought of this. Okay, so you know the Amazon store at these airports that you can just walk in and you take anything, and the AI is supposed to
automatically rings it up, and charges
you. Bullshit. It's bullshit. It's not an actual AI. It's somebody behind the fucking scenes with a camera watching everything that you take out, and they're lying to us and selling us this AI as if though it's actually working, and it's fucking not. And we're being duped by a lot of this stuff that's so-called AI, and it's really, really not. Yeah,
we brought a story about that last fall where they had their basket and they go through the pythons there, and it would just automatically charge. You go in your card, you swipe in, you go out, and it scans your basket, and you don't have to do anything but pick your shit up and leave. And it's tantamount to the same thing with self-checkouts. They have a personnel there watching your self-checkouts, helping everybody.
And you're on camera.
And you're on camera. Yeah. But guess what? It's not working. They're pulling self-checkouts out of many locations. They probably, with your luck, Chanda, they won't do that there. They'll put more self-checkouts in where you go. So what is
with
this?
a population with an average age of 82, you know, they're thinking about their customers.
Yeah. This is
Russia. This is kind of crazy.
Oh yeah, this is great.
This is a metro station, a modern metro station in Moscow.
Yeah, this is cool. I watched this.
This is the modern metro station in Moscow called Raskazovka, which in Russian, it comes from the word raskaz, or a story. Let me show you why. This whole station is designed to look like a library. As you can see here, you can find authors and their book titles. This one is by Alexander Pushkin, and you just have to scan the QR code to download the book onto your phone and then read it while you're in the metro. So I'm going to try and see if it works. We have Anton Chekhov, The Three Sisters. Let's see. There it is, The Three Sisters by Anton Chekhov. And look, the entire play, I have it on my phone. That's crazy. Where else can you find an entire library in the metro? Only in Moscow.
I think the the New York subway substitutes flooding for that. So that's
rats. Yeah, you can read the graffiti while you're waiting.
Yeah. It's terrible. And you know what? more power to any country that actually does things for their population instead of fuck them and print money to give to war.
Infrastructure.
Yeah, it's
It's a sense
unbelievable.
of pride. I mean, fuck, we have no pride, no dignity, you know, like.
Yeah, it's absolutely beyond the pale. Well, I'm going to let you introduce this since you just saw it in the green room.
I did just see this in the green room. So this week's amazing Yum Yum is about American exceptionalists prefer Russian aircraft and Chinese spaceship. This is hot off the press from Linda.
Linda, you knocked it out of the park again.
This is killer.
American exceptionalists prefer Russian aircraft and Chinese airspace. April 27th. Remember April Fool's Day of 2001 when the U.S. Navy flew their EP-3 too close to Hainan Island and collided with one of the Chinese jets trying to escort it the hell out of there? China kept the crew for 10 days, but they hung onto the plane until July. Then America lost its collective shit over China, having one of its dismantled planes for 3 months. Because memories of Operation Moolah must have slipped their collective minds. Operation Moolah was a United States Air Force plan to acquire, through defection, a Soviet MiG-15 fighter jet. $50,000 would be given to any pilot who could deliver to them a fully functional, mission-capable MiG-15, and another $50,000 to the first pilot who also defected. Complete political asylum and resettlement in any non-communist country were offered, as was anonymity, approved in March and forwarded to United Nations Command General Mark Clark. The plan was announced on this date in 1953 via a shortwave radio transmission, translated into Korean, Mandarin, Cantonese, and Russian. The message cajoled fighter pilots to abscond with their aircraft, so maybe they could frolic in the land of the free. Храбрые пилоты, командование Дальневосточного округа США предлагает божественную свободу всем отважным пилотам, кто желает свободы и стремится к лучшей, достойной жизни. Это ваш шанс, который бывает раз в 1000 лет. Освободитесь от коммунистического тирании. Летите на своем истребителе в свободный мир. The designers of Operation Moolah hoped the captured pilots would help create the illusion that communist POWs were treated better by UN forces and therefore didn't want to return home. America, you were trying to steal Russian-made fighter jets using the pilots who manned them. You caused the collision in China by invading their airspace, wrecking your own plane and killing a Chinese pilot in the process. How do you, with a straight face, ever paint yourself as the victim of anything? Hashtag, the whole world wants to give America something to cry about.
Great job, Linda. Oh my God, the graphics. She's got the Russian in there with the message. Can you believe that we did that? I can't believe we did that.
Oh, I can, absolutely.
Steal your plane, come to freedom. We let you live anywhere.
Well, that's how they roll. They try and, call everybody else the bad guy when they're pulling
I remember
the shit
that
they're
Chinese
saying.
mid-air
I do
collision.
too, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff. What do you got here?
Oh, guess what? Mayo Pete just gave you something good. So the airlines have to give you a full fucking refund now if you are delayed more than 3 hours. Cash refund.
They don't have to worry about that. I'm never going to fly in a Boeing jet again.
I have a feeling that's because nobody's flying. That's why they're doing this. Go ahead and play it.
This is major breaking news, like earth-shattering. I'm grinning because the Department of Transportation is standing on business. Airlines are now required to refund passengers for canceled and delayed flights, but it gets even better listen. So the Department of Transportation just implemented some new rules that if your flight, it doesn't matter what airline, is delayed significantly more than 3 hours for domestic flights and more than 6 hours for international flights, you will be issued a 100% cash refund. Cash, not flight credits. This will include any tickets that are purchased directly from airlines, travel agents, and even third-party sites. This is crazy, but it gets even
third-party
better.
sites.
So if your bags are lost and not delivered within 12 hours, you will be given 100% cash refund for your bag. And the refunds must be issued within 7 days according to the new DOT rules and must be in cash unless the passenger chooses another form of compensation. Also, airlines can no longer issue refunds in forms of vouchers or credits. Like, DOT really did their big one with this one. And I didn't think it could get any better, but it does. It does. The DOT rules include that passengers will also receive refunds for extra services paid for that are not provided, such as Wi-Fi, seat selection, and in-flight entertainment. The airlines gotta be shaking in their boots right now.
They're shaking. They're not shaking.
They got 6 months. These will never pass.
And besides, if they do, the next administration will turn it over. This is giving everybody cheese. This is the Biden administration giving us little nuggets of cheese because the window to them getting their ass kicked out of office and all those scumbags, including Pete, will be... Buttigieg will be replaced by another scumbag that'll turn this all around. Really? So it's a win-win for them. So whatever. It's great. I appreciate the young lady's enthusiasm, and I wish that would be the case. We'll see.
I know. She's young. Cut her some slack. So Southwest is sad because nobody wants to fly Southwest anymore.
I wonder why.
They're pulling out of a bunch of cities.
Let's talk travel and aviation this morning. Between cutting employees and leaving multiple airports, Southwest Airlines is announcing some major changes this week. This after a first quarter report showed a more than $200 million loss. Your station's Stephanie with us live from the Southwest headquarters at Dallas Love Field. Stephanie, talk us through this. I mean, these are significant changes and impacts here.
Yeah, Southwest starting to shake things up ahead of summer, announcing that they are expecting to cut as many as 2,000 jobs by the end of the year.
There's 2,000 more jobs going.
Issues with Boeing. They have delays in manufacturing.
It's Boeing's fault.
And that is
Boeing's fault.
A problem for Southwest just getting a hold of those 737 MAX 8 planes. Also, other airlines, United, American, posting quarter-one losses as well. Also complaining about issues with Boeing. Boeing responding to us in a statement that they are communicating with both the airlines and the customers about their progress. But back to Southwest, they are suspending services at 4 airports that you'll see on your screen in just a second here because of underperformance. And to add to the matter, Southwest is reducing services in Atlanta and at Chicago O'Hare. So the company tells us that it is constantly evaluating and figuring out how to best run their flights. So they're also, Marky, looking into maybe changing their seating policy too. And you know, that's what we all know. If you fly Southwest, you get in line and then you can pick your seat. That could be going away. CEO
picking your own seat.
It's too early to explain all
the
specifics of this, but it's something they are actively studying now.
So, okay, here's the thing. My mind goes, okay, so a lot less people are flying because flying is scary right now because Boeing's been, late stage capitalism building these damn things that are like falling out of the sky. It's scary. It's only a matter of time before we see a major problem with as many as have had to come down. And so you would think that would make flights cheaper. But what it's actually doing is it's shrinking the market because they're going to start cutting flights. They're going to start running less planes. And that means that the flights that are available are going to be a hell of a lot more expensive to get on. And that is a part of the Agenda 2030 to get you to stop traveling is to make it unobtainable. You can't afford to fly. It's $10,000 to go from Seattle to New York now. That's what I see.
Yeah, that's what I see happening too. But they're going to blame everybody. But there's 2,000 more jobs lost. I just got to say to Southwest, hey, fuckers, maybe you shouldn't have confiscated my pool stick back in 2005. Yeah.
Karma.
Yeah,
Karma
there's some karma for you. And you brought this meme. I really enjoy that. You want to read that real quick?
Let's see. The Democrats and the Republican, they both promote perpetual war. Never stop spending. They spy on Americans. Don't care who's on Epstein's client list. Owned by Big Pharma, owned by military industrial complex. Don't give a fuck about you.
Abso-frickin-lutely. No matter which party claims they do, it's just the opposite. I love this one. This was great. I brought this just for you because you have a CNN clip here and cream of bullshit. And I know Ronan Farrow is your hero.
I brought Rosemary's
Reporters
Baby.
who advanced this story at the time because one of the things Pecker is now speaking to is that AMI, at the time the name of the owner of the National Enquirer, did just lie when this was all coming to light. And he said in court today, I lied to protect myself and my company and to protect Donald Trump. So what we're getting isn't new revelations about how this scheme worked, how there was this apparent
So this is about the trial. I didn't get to set this
the
up.
election by concealing information from voters.
Trump's newest trial,
What we are getting is
right?
additional detail and confirmation after a whole lot of concealment.
All right, so what are
Mickey
your
Cohen's
sources,
getting ready too.
in this trial and the prosecution? What are they telling you right now?
Well, certainly there's a feeling that Pecker has been a strong
Who
witness.
gives a shit?
There's also
Thank you, and that's the whole
apprehension
point.
about some
That's
of the
why I
witnesses to
brought
come.
this. It's
And
cream
Michael
of
Cohen
fucking
is at some point
bullshit.
going to
Only
have to take a
people
stand
who
and
live in
possibly
Midtown
make a
Manhattan
decision next
and
month as of
fucking
current
live in gated
conversations.
communities
And
care.
there's a mounting sense of anxiety, particularly over the course of this week, about how noisy Michael Cohen is and what a loose cannon Michael Cohen can be. And
Michael Cohen's going to be the crazy loose
I
pin.
think that I understand
Oh my God.
and empathize with all the reasons he's in a difficult, stressful position right now.
Yep.
And to his credit, he did at a certain point this week, after a lot of tense conversations between prosecutors and his legal team, finally announce, I'm going to stop going on TV and talking about this. I'm going to stop going on my podcast and talking about this. Because he was just sort of spouting vulgarities all the time about Trump. He had started a fundraising campaign. These were all things that made prosecutors
This is who they're
nervous about
looking to
positioning
take
him
Trump
as a
down.
meaningful witness in this case.
Mickey Cohen. Mickey's
Mickey
going to
Cohen.
take Trump down because he took the bribe.
I guess you're right. Ronan Farrow's sporting those shoulder pads too. I guess that's back in fashion.
Rosemary's Baby. Yeah,
Our bell bottoms coming back next week. Did you have to bring Rachel Maddow again?
Oh, this is so bad.
Oh,
Just let it run for a few minutes. She goes off on the Trump, Oh my God, they're losing their shit. They think that Trump's going down this time.
After one of the 3 appellate judges who heard the appeal asked Trump's lawyer in court a shocking hypothetical about whether he could order the assassination of a political rival and really not be charged for it. Trump's counsel said indeed that was their position. So all of the federal judges who reviewed Trump's audacious immunity claim, all of them have seemed not just disinclined to go along with it, they have seemed shocked by it. And their clarion decisions, again, at the trial court level and at the appellate level, their clarion decisions on this immunity question really seemed like they would be the last word. But with this Supreme Court, never say never. The United States
never say never, the Supreme Court.
This issue for weeks and then finally announced that they wanted to take this case themselves. They announced they would take it today, what is probably the latest possible day on which they could have scheduled these arguments. To the extent that Trump's best defense tactic is delay, the Supreme Court has already been an excellent accomplice in that defense. Even with that backdrop, the arguments today were legitimately, I think, stunning. Trump's counsel was grilled for about an hour. The counsel for Prosecutor Jack Smith in the Justice Department was grilled for nearly twice that amount of time. But almost immediately at the start of proceedings, under questioning from Justice Sonia Sotomayor, we got confirmation that the appeals court hypothetical, that crazy hypothetical about Trump being able to assassinate his political enemies and never be charged for it, we got confirmation right at the start that that was not a fluke. President Trump, in fact, maintains, and his lawyers maintain, that he really is immune from prosecution, specifically for killing his political rival.
You know what, Chanda? I've got to go
Can you
watch.
believe this shit? 91 indictments, and they accuse him of wanting to kill his political rivals. And they're arguing in court if he has the right to. This is insanity.
It is insanity, but I've got to go wash my eyes out with bleach because watching Rachel Maddow with her bullshit propaganda again, which appeals only to my demographic on up, the blue hairs and the sycophants that have TDS, makes me sick. That's just terrible. Terrible.
That's why I brought it. It was total cream of bullshit.
You brought it rightfully so just to make me vomit. What is it? What's going on here?
Oh, so did you hear one of Harris's Secret Service flipped out the other day, and this is just like a 40-second clip.
Yeah, it was LSD, I'm sure.
Joe Biden's running probably the most chaotic White House in history.
It was
From
jealousy.
commander chowing down on staff to a cocaine bag he found near the Situation Room. It's all out of control. And now Secret Service agents are going the full Jerry Springer. One of Kamala's armed protectors reportedly flipping out this week and getting into a physical fight with another agent at Joint Base Andrews while waiting for the VP to arrive. Things got so crazy. The Washington Examiner reports that the agent had to be handcuffed and removed from service. The Secret Service confirms that the agent began displaying behavior their colleagues found distressing, but's coy on other details, saying, quote, "This was a medical matter. We will not disclose any further details."
It's a medical matter.
It's a medical
No,
matter.
basically what it is the Secret Service, the problem children, they get sent to Harris's detail. The freaking agents that they can't. And apparently this agent, she's had some freaking issues. Like she was talking to people during basic training, but they just pretended like she wasn't hearing voices. And apparently there was a relationship with her and another agent. And so that it was like a fight that ensued between those two
Somebody
agents.
cracked.
Somebody cracked anyways.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, it's the CIA dosing agents again and not telling people. Like,
Who knew?
we know they do that.
Who knew? Who knew? I brought another segment. We're going to see if it works, but and I brought it for you, Chanda, because you fit the meme. But it's the X-Files segment here, and this. So anything that has to do with Twitter and Elon Musk, if you don't mind, Chanda, put it in this slide when you do things.
You got it. I've got an Elon slide over on my deck, so I get it.
But you make a great Scully, I gotta say. You make a terrific Scully. We've got Anthony Albanese says, "This will be my final post on X. I stand firm in my belief that free speech is a dangerous tool and must be restricted. Elon Musk's commitment to free speech is a detriment to our democratic discourse. As such, in solidarity with Senator Lambie, I too shall be quitting X." So what do you think of them apples, Chanda?
I think I'm gonna leave X.
I'm gonna leave X. Please do. Soon. Make it soon.
I love when they throw those outward fits and leave big grand posts, and then they post again like 2 days later.
Yeah, yeah. Where's Meathead and Mark Hamill when you need them? I mean, it's just
they're
really
in Hollywood.
I believe this to be true. A scientist says he has evidence we live in a simulation, and I'm starting to lean that way myself. And
I 100% believe we're
I
in a
don't know if
simulation. Or multiverses of a simulation.
Yeah, the Marvel thing going here. You brought this.
Which billionaire would you most likely to have lunch with? And your choices are Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey, Donald Trump, Jeff Bezos, or Tay Swift.
Anybody? Bueller? Okay, well, I guess that's all.
I'm gonna say Taylor Swift, because I think maybe if you sat her down and she might be redeemable. Maybe because she's young, there might still be a chance to save her. But the rest of them, they're all lost.
Yeah, you might get a couple of autographs. Two for the price of one. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. There you go. What is this? I couldn't
stomach being in the same room with any of the rest of them. Oh, so you know how lasers aren't real? You know, like the Jewish-based lasers catching Maui on fire.
Yeah.
Well, check out. They've got a gun now over in China that you can buy that's a laser gun for cutting trees down. Check this thing out.
You can buy it? Is it available on Amazon? Okay.
Like more power. But probably Temu would be my guess.
Okay, Temu.
I need one of those. I got a bush I got to trim.
You got a bushy.
Look.
I'm not buying that.
I love that. Does it come with the sound effects? It better come with the sound effects, or I'm sending it back.
Can I? Okay.
Dang,
Snorky.
was powerful.
Is there a Snorky? Is Snorky in the house? Snorky, can you voide that?
Is it real or is it AI? Who knows anymore?
I wouldn't be surprised. I know that there are some pretty powerful lasers out there, construction lasers. So.
But in a handheld device that you can shoot up into trees?
Well, if the military-industrial complex gets a hold of it, they'll be in hog heaven.
I know. I love the pew pew sound.
Yeah, and Julian Assange, bring him home, bring him home. The goal is an endless war, not a successful war. Is there even such a thing, Chanda?
Oh, look what I got today. I got to send to Julian. It's a postcard of the Dungeness lighthouse with the Olympic mountains in the background.
Oh,
So
way cool.
I'm going to send it to Assange.
Way cool, way cool. It is that time again, everybody. It is me, Mally, already. God, this 2 hours has really gone quick tonight. Holy crap. You were right. We got this one.
We've been playing for 27 hours and none of us has been able to afford a house yet. That is Monopoly 2024 edition.
Oh, hell yes. And you are here. Soylent Green, Clockwork Orange, 1984, Brave New World, and The Hideous Strength. I think that is the best roundabout meme I've seen in a long time.
Oh my gosh.
It nails it. And you've got this one. I love this movie.
The government, most people, of course I still love you. Yeah. After you've had the shit beat out of you by your own government.
A few times. There you go. And I think I brought this one. I didn't frame it very well. If the cost of living keeps rising and working won't cover the cost, then we have nothing to work for. And then there's the guillotine and nothing to lose. I think that one should get an award tonight, Chanda. That's pretty right on, in my opinion. And this one I brought for a little fun, albeit may be true. Uranus may be filled with a lot more methane than we thought. So that is the planet. That is the planet Uranus, or is that a scope from a colonoscopy? That is the question.
I don't know, right? It could very well be the same.
It could be. It could be.
Now you're creeping me out. Oh my gosh.
You brought Ellen Page or
let's see. Chinese citizens using VPN to access Twitter and Facebook. American citizens using VPN to access TikTok.
Oh, there you go. That's what we need to do. And I don't recommend VPNs for shit because they are slowing down your internet speeds at a frightening level. We have Remember When, Chanda? Do you remember when? I remember when. I ruminate all the time, but here we go. We've got
Never ask a woman her age, a man his salary, or Time Magazine who was Person of the Year in 1938.
yeah. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
And Chanda and Oz having coffee. Joey's coffee, as a matter of fact. Should have put the logo there. This bloody paper is half the size it used to be. And Chanda says,
of course, dear. They used to publish both sides of a story.
And not anymore.
Not anymore.
Very good, Chanda. Very good. Chanda, I don't know what the hell's going on, but you brought fashion this week. Is there a problem?
Fashion.
Is there a problem?
Yeah, and no, just get those knitting needles out and get your butt to work. And yeah, I don't know what's going on with the other one. I got nothing.
I mean, that looks like a dentist's dream right there. Gee, Chris.
I don't know what's up with the shiny jockstrap. I don't know.
I don't either. I don't either.
But I like the guy with the pot holders, like, pieced together on his chest. That's kind of cool. Or the wind. What were those things we used to make? Those dream catchers with the eye, back in the 70s with yarn.
Yeah, I like the. I like the bow, the one down in the corner, the bow, the pre-made bow. Yeah. You just slip that over your torso and you're good to go.
There you go. Put a bow on it.
It is Stoner Corner. Shanda, you have the
Stoner Corner. When you use Fiji water in your bong. Oh, yeah, you do feel special. And Stoner Math. You have 100 joints, and for every 10 roaches, you can roll one single joint. Question, if you smoke everything, how many joints will you successfully smoke? And I actually thought about this. It would be 110, but no, wait, because you're getting 10 joints. That means you're going to have 10 more roaches, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It just goes on until it breaks my brain.
Yeah.
And when I said the company should go green, what I meant was we should all smoke joints at work.
Yeah, you absolutely should.
Go green. Go green.
And I got to bring this. I had a little trouble with Shitlib Book Club recommendations this week, but I promise I'll try harder next week. But this one isn't bad. let's get the fuck away from humans, and I happen to agree with the animal kingdom. And I wonder when this bullshit will be over. Subhuman infestation. Oh my God. No kidding. No
yes,
kidding.
we have parasites. America, we have parasites.
We
bad.
have
We got to do something about our parasite problem.
And thus the first shitlid book. It goes pretty good with the second one. It is time for Hollywood. Go fuck yourself. Hollywood. And that's not Mary Margolis. She's not in that club, but so many are. And the first that hit the deck this week was, of course, Harvey Weinstein. And there you go. Always helps to have good friends. And Caitlin Poda said Harvey Weinstein's New York sex crime conviction is overturned. Daily Mail. What do you think of that? Do you think the Mossad or Israel?
I called it. I need to go back to my Epstein-Weinstein dives 2-3 years ago, and I told you that this was temporary, that he would not do a lot of time, and that he would be out. This is what they do for the rich. Even if they get busted, they go to a country club for a year, whatever, just like they busted Cosby out, just like they busted Epstein out, and Epstein's living a very happy life. I would frickin' bet anything on it. I don't think Epstein killed himself.
Some people are saying he's going to flee to Israel to avoid retrial.
He probably can. I mean, shit, the elites will protect him.
You brought this.
Gavin Newsom's wife breaks down describing Harvey Weinstein's fish-like penis in court. Yeah, this was from the trial back in November of 2022. And, of course, that's Miss Newsom herself right there, Jennifer.
Oh, my God. Newsom. I took delight.
Why do these guys always have fucked up penises? Like Epstein had an egg-shaped one. Weinstein, what are they trying to make a salad? Like,
yeah, I wouldn't know. I've only observed one. So
fish-like, yeah. I don't know what that even. I can't even put my brain around what that. I don't know.
I don't either.
I just see a Jell-O fish mold. I don't know.
This one gave me great pleasure in bringing because Luke Skywalker has just been horrid with the Trump issue.
So bad.
Fuck you and your daddy issues. Trump, Trump, Trump. And there is Mark Hamill in his glory days as Luke Skywalker. It can't be true. You're lying. Oh, my God. Anyway.
He truly is the original cockknocker. That's who he plays in all of the Jay and Silent Bob movies. Is this super character named Cockknocker.
Yeah, he used to write comics that had the villain shoot barbecue sauce out of a gun or something. I don't know what the hell that was about. Anyway, you've got this one.
Being a Taylor Swift fan in 2024 feels like being a Jew in 1938.
Oh my God.
Oh God, they've lost their frickin' minds. Of course, Tay-Tay dropped a new album this week, and it is truly some crazy shit to behold if you go over there and watch the Taylor Swift fans, like crying. I mean, it's like take the best of the pink pussy hat wearers and then amplify that by 100, and that's what you get with the Taylor Swift fans. It's insane.
Make sure, you guys, check out Exit Reels. We'll be dropping tomorrow at 10:15 a.m. I hope you enjoy it as much as we hope you enjoy the exit tonight. You want to give the announcements before we jet out of here?
Announcements? I'm on my regular schedule next week. I ain't got nothing other than that I can think of.
Okay. I hope you do a segment on the colleges or the militarized police posting snipers on top of these universities Monday. Will you please do that?
Yeah, no, you sent me. I've came across that story a couple of different times. We've seen a couple of different pictures. So throw whatever you have on the deck, and I'll dig around and see what I found. But I'm not surprised by it one bit. We've been inching towards this with the cop cities that are being that they're pushing through the militarization of our police. But the thing is these are our kids. These are our kids. They're college kids. These are our fucking kids that you guys are sending these militarized state police in on. And it's only going to go so long till some Karen moms are getting pissed and pushing back. So,
Well, I've got a I've got some content for a slide if you do put that topic in your show on Monday. And it is my statement. I was going to read it tonight. We don't have time, but I'm going to start a segment with, remember Andy Rooney at the end of 60 Minutes? Well, I'm going to try an Oz-a-Rooney coming up for more content for the show. But anyway, everybody, it's been a pleasure. We've had very good numbers tonight. Terrific. We've had
I
some
threw a lot of wrenches tonight, so a lot of new groups in the chat.
And a lot of our friends checked in. Reef over at INN and Lila Charles Lay from Punch Up Pod with Pat the Burner. Appreciate that, Lila, coming in, and so many other friends of ours.
Thank you for all the super chats.
And the super chats are great. You are helping us out a lot. Yes, next week, Beauty and the Boomer. I haven't figured out what kind of music we're going to have, but we're going out with Eddie Money tonight. Say goodnight, Chanda. We're heading out.
Good night, Chanda. I will see you guys first thing Monday morning, 10 a.m.
Thanks, everybody. We love you guys. Thanks so much.
Something that both of us have always wanted to do. say, be my little baby. Something's got a hold on me now. It's a feeling, burning like a lover on fire. Hold me tight, babe. Don't leave me by myself tonight. And I don't think I can make it through the night. I think I'm in love, and my life's looking up. I think I'm in love, and I can't get enough. I think I'm in love. It's gotta be love. I think I'm in love. It surrounds me over like a sea of madness. It controls me, makes me do all the things I do for you. On my mind, babe, thinking about you now. And I don't know if I'll make it through the night. I think I'm in love.